I'm not in Dundee, I'm in the next city over, Perth, just in a residential part of it, because my wife's catching up with her friends, so I just gently said I needed a walk and left them, because I want to do some mapping in Perth. I know there's a couple of really good mappers that live here, but I want to kind of help them out, but kind of spur them on to do some more. And I thought it would be a good chance, because different to Dundee, they've actually drawn around a lot more buildings drawn on the aerial imagery, copying that. So the building outlines are there, but not the house numbers. I could use Keypad Mapper, that house feature, to just tap in, because when you go into house mode, as you'll see me use on my screen recording, it kind of comes up with these it thinks they're buildings, what's the address number or the house number, and you can just tap in the number. You can even tell it the shape of the building, which is great for people that use OpenStreetMap to render 3D models. You can tell it how many levels there are, good for understanding different things. But the trouble is, they're semi-detached houses, and there's no way to split. This is why I kind of prefer adding house numbers as points rather than areas, because it's not about the building, and you can even move it more where on the right side the entrance is, or put it as a point but on the outline. There's lots of different ways, but so I'm probably doing this badly by adding it in as if it's kind of one address point with 52, 54 or whatever. Not ideal, and I feel really bad having just done a street like that, because someone's now they could split it up, I guess, and do it as they could just sit at home. You don't need to come and see these, you can figure out which side is which house number, but I'm putting in data that's not the best data I could put. So I think I'm going to stop with that Everydoor app now, unless I had visited here first on the computer and split those, guessing they're semi-detached, it would have been easier. Or if I come across a street where they are fully detached buildings, it will be easier. I think I'll switch to the standard Keypad Mapper and photos, which is troublesome again in somewhere like Perth, where I know there are other mappers. The 2 roads over, the house numbers are done, so I'm going to have to record this with Keypad Mapper and my camera, and then make sure I'm back on the computer soon to actually edit and upload to OpenStreetMap. That kind of long distance between isn't great, but we'll see what we can do. I'll do some house numbers. If I get bored, I might walk as far as town. I'm out by the hospital now, as you might have guessed. I don't think it's too far to walk to the city centre, and then I can do some shop updating, which I know one of the local mappers has been trying their best with. I'll do some shop updating. Anyway, we'll see. Let's get mapping. I've not got my high-vis jacket on. When you go into a friend's house, it's not normally what you take. I did remember to bring a tripod. Okay, mapping we go. I wonder if anyone asks me questions, and I wonder how cold I'll get. Right, so this Keypad Mapper, I've already tapped record. You can't download it off the Android store, but there's a page on the OSM wiki, and I just see that's a 2 on the right, 1 on the left, 4 right, 3 left, 6 right, and this has a house name, OCHD, 5 left, 7 left. Okay, what's on the right? So that's probably 10, but doesn't have house number. I had I as a note, and 12 as Glen Eden on the right, 9 left, 11 left, 14's on the right, and 16 with a house name, Lortoka. Also on Everydoor, so that's probably 17. No, it's not, because that should have been 15. But when I actually use the file this creates on my computer, I'll be able to correct those things as I go in. On Everydoor on house mode, I'm sure it had a way to add a note, because it does that for the shops, but it wasn't prompting me for house name, which I found interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how unhelpful that will be, because a lot of those houses still have house numbers. I can also just quickly, I'm used to quickly swapping back to see where I'm going. This looks like it's going to be flats where it's going to be tricky to find the numbers. Also, I'm wondering if there's a footpath at the end. Yeah. So I'll show you a bit more here. I can take photos, so you see this, which will have an entrance just there. I can take photos, so say there are paths here, but on what number was this? 14 to 22, which is kind of what I was doing in Everydoor, but that makes sense with this kind of property. It doesn't look like, I think it is the front entrance, but I can take photos. So for that, because it's flat and it can be a bit confusing, I think it's helpful to be able to map where the exact house entrance is, flat entrance. That Keypad Mapper 7 to 12 is here. Oh, I didn't notice that playground or how you get to it, which is interesting. Maybe I should have. No, you know what? I'm going to go back and try and find that playground. What use is it seeing a playground on a map if we don't know how to get there? So we'll just walk up here. I do wonder, it looks like there's a path kind of through those woods. Oh, that. Yeah, we'll see where that joins up and take that way into town. Okay, so I'm looking. I should show you what I'm seeing here. So, the snow made me not realise this was a path, I think. Well, it looks like it's just gravel in between. And indeed, that's the playground. So I think that gave you a bit of a view of how I do things when I'm not using Everydoor. My use of this tapping in Keypad Mapper, but also using my camera a lot to snap photos of specific bits, these paths that are missing. Everydoor is really helpful, I think, when there's existing level of data there, where a lot's been mapped already, at least the basics, but then adding on those details or updating those details. But my style, the classic of having a GPX and taking photos, but also the tapping of Keypad Mapper for the quick numpad, it's a bit the traditional way of OpenStreetMap, but it's also adding these detailed things in here. For example, this playground, I need to know the paths. I need the GPX recording for that little line I can copy. But also I can take one photo, not quite this, but I could take a photo like that. One photo takes me half a second. Back at the computer, come back, this is a playground, that's already on there. I can say there's a set of swings with 2 people. I can say there's a climbing frame and a slide. I can say there's a bench and a bin just along the fence. And that's why it's good for the lots of detail in the surveying. And it does involve a lot of the computer editing at home, which you've seen in a lot of my past videos, either using, well, I tend to use JOSM, but using I do. And also, in that last little bit, you can probably see I got confused kind of going up, having to double back on myself because it's dead-end road, but actually being tempted to continue through that footpath that I didn't think connected. As much as you plan a route when mapping, well, you're discovering new things. I had kind of suspected there'd be some paths between these roads, as in many residential areas. I didn't think there'd be one at the end which I want to go through. And so you can never tell how long it'll take or what bits you'll have to go back on. As I say, I'm just visiting Perth today. I might be back, but I'm not going to be able to do this at all or cover it incredibly systematically. I hope I'm improving the map. I'm improving the map because I'm adding more information. I'm adding bits that might have been missed, like the route to this playground. But I don't think I'm making a problem for the other mappers. I think it just eases some of their work for them to do around here. They don't have to do this 1 or 2 streets I've done. And then I can continue. But it's cold. I've got to keep my hand out to use my phone. And that's always tiring. So I noticed I can actually see there's I think that's Canole Hill behind me. That's a great view of Perth from there on the other side of the river. But down there, so the path I'm following I think will lead into these trees. But anyway, I'll join it on the main road down there and go into town and maybe just do some shop mapping. That's what the majority, a lot of people want. It does help people know what shops are open, see that OpenStreetMap's up to date as well, and cafes and things. And these little house number bits can be done by the people that live in these areas that care, or the people that visit their friends there. Anyway, might show you a bit more map editing, map surveying as I go. This doesn't need to be a long video. I hope you enjoyed me doing a bit more and showing some more value. Thanks for watching my Mapper Diaries. Dear. Trying to be too clever there.